Alex here with another review. This time we're taking a look at the Nextbase 622GW. Now this dashcam has some very interesting features. First off, it features a front camera and also the option of either a cabin camera or a rear camera, so you essentially have two-channel capability. Now it also has an internal battery, something that is so rare. I have not found any other dashcam like that in the market. Typically some dashcams do have a very small battery that allows the dashcam to close out the video file in the event of power loss. However, the battery in here allows for two things. First, it allows for parking monitoring without hardwiring. The second thing that it allows is for the dashcam to continue recording after losing power. Now this is a key feature because it is possible that during a car crash, the dashcam may be knocked off the mount and all of a sudden it has lost power, so it closes out the file and the recording stops. But because this has that built-in battery, it can keep recording after the car crash, after losing power. And on this video, I'm gonna walk you through the rest of its features and then we'll take a look at some driving video. That way you can determine if this is the right dashcam for you. And I have placed a link in the description down below to the 622GW in case you want to get one for yourself. And I will tell you, this is probably one of the most interesting dashcams that I have reviewed in some time. Has some very interesting and unusual features. Here's accessories, which I'll show you in a little bit, but I want to show you the dashcam. And notice right off the bat, you can see that the front really stands out, and that is because it has a built-in polarizing filter, and you can see on here how you can turn that filter. Normally, the polarizing filter is not a common feature on dashcams, but when it is available, it's available as a separate add-on. Here is built in, and I think that's a great idea. This dramatically can improve the video quality of a dashcam, and I'll show you more on that later. Power buttons right here, and memory card bay supporting up to 256 gigabytes of memory. Moving to the back of the unit, we got a fairly large 3-inch touchscreen and one large physical button, but also this expansion port right here. Again, something very rarely seen on dashcams. This can be upgraded with a couple of very interesting add-ons, including a cabin camera or an optional rear camera. And finally, on top of the dashcam, you got another dust cover for power mini USB connector. And then we get the power adapter, this automotive adapter, with again that mini USB connector. And now let's move over to the vehicle. And to mount this to the windshield, I'm gonna go ahead and peel this portion back. I'm gonna line this up on my windshield. That's it. And this mount has quite a bit of flexibility in terms of being able to adjust the viewing angle. You can turn it a little bit to the left and to the right, but most of the adjustability is in the up and down direction, so this should work with pretty much any windshield. The mount also has a very interesting feature where it can separate from the windshield like that or like this, and this part is magnetic, and I find this a lot easier than trying to remove it from the top, especially if I want to clean the windshield. And we are shown the front of the vehicle, including some status indicators, including the recording indicator. And if you recall, this fairly large button in the front, tapping that is gonna flag and protect the section of the video as important. Additionally, because this is a touchscreen, I can tap on the icons. Notice that that icon is gonna stop recording. Tapping that icon one more time is gonna zoom recording. The other thing that you can do is if you tap on the screen, it is gonna take a picture. Also notice that when you stop the recording, you get access to the settings menu and the playback menu. Let's go inside of the playback option, and the first folder is gonna contain videos that were flagged as important by you or by the dashcam. Then there's a second folder for normal video, potentially us just driving around, playing the videos back. I would just select the folder, then I can hit play on there. But what's really interesting, I'm gonna pause this, is that this dashcam actually does something interesting. It allows you to trim the video. I have never seen a dashcam that allows you to edit the video while on the dashcam. You normally need editing software for that. And you also have the trash icon in case you wanted to delete the video. But now let's take a look at settings. The first option is going to be video settings and then resolution. Right now we're running this at 4K at 30 frames per second. However, you could decrease the resolution and now you have access to high frame rate. Notice that this is about 2K resolution and now we are running at double the frame rate. Increasing the frame rate can help you capture things like license plates on fast moving objects. And you can continue to decrease the resolution and get access to more frame rate. This will allow you to run this in super slow motion by filming in 120 frames per second. You can also choose whether you want audio to be recorded and not recorded. And the stamps, which are the watermarks shown on the video, can also be customized. You can turn any of those off. The timestamp, the speed stamp if you don't want to have your speed recorded, the GPS stamp if you don't want to have your coordinates recorded, you can turn that off, and also the model stamp. And on the next page, you get this dual file option, which I have never seen on a dashcam before. And what this does, if you turn this on, is gonna make a copy of every video that is recorded in low quality in addition to the high quality video. So you essentially end up with two files for every video recorded, one high quality and one low quality. Now obviously this takes more space on the memory card, so I normally turn this off. That way this dashcam records like all other dashcams, just single files that are all high quality. Unfortunately, this has a side effect if you turn this off on the app. Let me show you what that is. If you disable that dual file option, notice what happens when you try to stream a video from the dashcam to the app. You are not gonna be able to stream it. You're gonna have to download the file first to your phone from the app, and then you can view the video. Kind of a very strange decision, and I hope they can change this in the future. You can also turn on the time-lapse function, and instead of recording normal video, the dashcam is gonna record a time-lapse. License plate information can also be entered here, and that's gonna show as a watermark on the video, and we also get a G sensor. Now the G sensor can allow the dashcam to detect when you get into a car crash, and here you can select how sensitive you want that sensor to be to detecting the car crash, either low, medium, or high, or it could be turned off. And on the next page of settings, we get two interesting features. The first one is image stabilization, which this is the first dashcam I have seen that offers this option, and this is gonna smooth out the video for you. Now, the image stabilization is digital. It is not optical stabilization. That means that the video is gonna be cropped slightly. However, if you have a kind of a bumpy car, kind of with a harsh suspension, or if you live on a place that has a very bumpy road, it might help you to turn this on. That way you can get a smoother video. The extreme weather option can allow this dashcam to cut through fog and improve the video quality under rainy and foggy conditions. Moving over to the next icon, which is setup, we get screensaver. And here you can turn this on, and then the dashcam is gonna turn off the screen after a certain period of time while it continues recording in the background. Or you can select to be shown your speed while the dashcam continues recording in the background. If you want to have the screen always show what the dashcam is recording, you will want to turn off the screensaver function. Also interesting is this recording history option. If you live in a place that limits how much video you can carry with you, you will want to select minimum recording history. If where you live there are no restrictions as far as how much video you can carry with you, you want to select max. That way you always have the most video available. Parking mode is quite interesting because it does not require a hardwire kit since this dashcam has a built-in battery, and if you enable this, the dashcam can sense when there is an impact when the car is parked. It's gonna turn on, it's gonna make a record of it, and then it's gonna turn back off. Moving over to the next page of settings, you get language, and I'm gonna scroll through here so you can see the different language options that are available in case you wanted to change this from the default one. And as you can see, there are quite a bit of languages in here to choose from. And on the next page of settings, we get speed units, and here you can select between miles per hour or kilometers per hour. And the screen dim option is quite interesting because this allows for auto brightness adjustment of the screen. At night it can lower that brightness, and during the day it can increase that brightness, something that I typically don't see on dashcams of this type. And under driver assistance, you get the emergency SOS function, which requires you to use the app, and I'll cover that a little bit later. And also the reversing camera option can be used if you have the optional rear camera. And the app is called My Nextbase, and it connects to the dash cam via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and shows us a live view coming from it. And if you tap on that screen, it's also going to show you a larger view, and also this icon right here that allows you to either stop the recording or resume recording. And to get access to the videos that are on the dashcam, I'm gonna tap on dashcam. And as you can see, the files are gonna be right here. Now notice that here you don't get any previews. That is because I did not have the high and low quality file option enabled. So I enabled that. That way I can show you what it looks like if you have that option on. Enabling that allows you to have this smaller quality video file that can stream from the dash cam, and if you really like it, then you can download the high quality version of it. Also notice that you can enlarge that file size in terms of the size of the screen, and even though it's a lower quality file, it looks pretty good, and you can also take a screenshot of it. And you can also change the dashcam settings by going into My Dashcam and then Settings. And here's all the different options that I showed you on the dashcam. They are accessible via the app as well. What's also pretty cool is that we can check for updates directly from the app. Not many dashcams offer this option, and since I started reviewing this dashcam, I already got one firmware update, so that's pretty cool that they put that option directly on the app. And here's that emergency SOS option that we saw earlier. It uses the dashcam G sensor to detect when you get into a car crash and then call emergency service for you. Notice that you get 1 year for free. After that, you are required to subscribe in order if you want to continue using this. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some driving video to see how well this thing actually performs. And this is an audio test of the Nextbase 622GW, and I am sitting on the driver's side seat. And this is an audio test of the Nextbase 622GW, and I'm standing outside the driver's side door. Now there are things that could be better, for example the Alexa support. I really struggled to get that feature to work, and I was not able to get it to work until eventually there is some kind of update came through, and for some reason now I was able to work. Alexa, ask my dashcam to take a photo.
I've taken a photo.
Alexa, ask my dashcam to protect the file.
Recording protected.
But in my opinion, I'm not sure it makes sense to have Alexa on a dashcam. It still requires my phone to be present for Alexa to work, so I would prefer for the voice control just to be built-in, simple on the dashcam, nothing else. Let's also talk about that built-in circular polarizer filter. I love the idea that it's built in. I don't have to buy it separately. I don't have to worry about putting it on and then having it to fall off. There's not gonna be any dust collected on the interior of it because it's literally attached to the dashcam built in. However, the use of circular polarizer filters within the dashcam community, it's a little bit controversial because a filter like this can eliminate reflections and glare, basically allowing you to see through your windshield super clear, and the image is going to look very nice and very rich. However, circular polarizers filters do cut on the amount of light that is available to the camera lens. Basically, they reduce the amount of light by a few, maybe 1 or 2 f-stops. And what happens when you cut basically the amount of light that's available to a camera, the camera, to compensate for that extra darkness, basically wants to give you the same bright image, is gonna increase the shutter speed. And as soon as you start increasing shutter speeds, now you're gonna potentially make anything that's moving very fast potentially look a little bit more blurry. And here's why that is key. If you're trying to capture very fine detail like license plate numbers of fast-moving vehicles, having a longer shutter speed, it's not something you want. Now, the opposite argument to that is if you had a good shutter speed that could freeze fast-moving objects, but there is glare on your windshield and there are reflections, you're still not gonna catch them. So as you can see, it's a catch-22. Either you take a dashcam with all of its reflections and glare from the windshield, or you take a dashcam without no reflections and no glare, but now at the potential expense of having a longer shutter speed. So as you can see, even though I love the idea of the filter being built in, that does mean that you are gonna be stuck with that filter, whether you want it or not. So if you are planning on not running a circular polarizer filter, this dashcam is probably not gonna be for you. If you love circular polarizer filters, this dashcam is gonna be for you. And if you just want my personal opinion on whether you should want a circular polarizer filter or not want a circular polarizer filter, this is just my opinion, not based on any kind of scientific fact or measurement. This is just based on me having tested and reviewed about close to 100 dashcams now. During the day, using a circular polarizer filter, the difference is gonna be, I think, negligible in terms that your license plates are still gonna look nice and crisp, even in fast-moving objects, and you're gonna have no glare and no reflections with the filter. But if primarily you are driving at night, then at night you're probably gonna benefit from not having a filter. So some people put the filter on during the day and then take it off at night. That is actually a hassle. So I actually don't run a circular polarizer filter on one of my dash cams. And I say one of them because I always recommend running a minimum of at least 2 independent dash cam setups on your vehicle for redundancy. In case one dash cam fails, the other one is there as a backup. So now when you have 2 systems, you can have one system with a filter and one without a filter. That way you don't have to worry about taking it on or off, or whether you're gonna lose potential sharpness in fast-moving objects. So the bottom line is that I do think that the 622GW is a really good dashcam, especially if you are running it on that multiple dashcam setup. You can have this one with that built-in circular polarizer filter, and then you can have your other dashcam without a filter. That way you get the best of both worlds. So if you guys want to get your own 622GW, I'll put a link to that in the description down below. And if you have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments also. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.